Good afternoon, it's Drew, and this is a long overdue update on the TVR Griffith project. No updates for the last 3 or 4 months. I've not been standing still. I've been doing some other house restoration projects, so this has had to take a bit of a back seat, but also with my working environment, it's not really much of a viable winter project. The big project we've been working on is the pedal box. Took that out on Christmas Eve. That was a real faff. There were a couple of broken bolts. By the time I did get it out, I then realised that the clutch and brake master cylinders were completely shot. All the fixings were, as ever, corroded into them, and I've been struggling to get the components at A, reasonable prices, but B, they've got metric fittings on the brake master cylinder, and I've been struggling to get a couple of unions, but I think I've found that, so hopefully I'll get that sorted out in the next week or so, get that in, and I can then test the clutch. I've got a brief video that I will put in from a week ago where there was a lovely cat's cradle of wiring sitting on the engine. That's now all connected up in place. To be fair, there's not a vast amount to do, mainly the injector wires, the coil, the alternator, the starter motor, and then a few other bits and pieces of plugs and things for the electronic ignition and the auto switch and things like that, but that's all largely done. And then today, joy of joys, I've managed to get most of the fixing bolts for the body to chassis sorted out and in place. When I first looked at it, everything was about a couple of mil out. And I started with these ones under here. I thought they were fairly straightforward. They weren't. Eventually I did these ones here. Plan is, rather than spend 30 or 40 quid on a bespoke nut and bolt set, which seems like a lot of money to spend on nuts and bolts, because I've got to re-drill these, just buy some regular good quality nuts and bolts for those. But these two are the only remaining captive nuts on the chassis inside. But those bolts are cleaned up all right to hold it down, and then the seatbelt mountings here, that's just an old harness fixing that I had when I built a kit car a few years ago, just to show where the hole goes, but I have to get a proper high tensile bolt for that part of the fixing. But yeah, it took quite a few hours of fiddling and faddling around to get all that done, but it was literally a little bit of time here, tighten this one up, tighten that one up. And eventually they've all seemed to have snicked into place where they need to be, including the ones in the boot, but that's a bit dark in there, so I can't really show you that at the moment. And the other milestone job is, since I've had this car, which is for 3 years now, the first time it goes into gear on the gear stick. Straightforward enough, just to pop out that cover. It's just riveted on. Got to get some long rivets to hold it back in, and then just snick the gear lever in, and job's a good one. So yeah, I feel like it is coming together, and that of course is the pleasurable part of doing a restoration project. Sorry, pleasurable part of doing a restoration project. And I've also been working on a few sub-assemblies. Again, anybody who knows me knows I'm a bit of a Alan Milliard fan, and he would have turned up with a few sub-assemblies in his hand ready for me to bolt them in, but that's not it way it works around here. I have to do it. But this, which was all horrible and rusty, I've cleaned it back. I've still got to do these connections, as everything is on this car. Absolutely everything is corroded, but spent the best part of a decade with a very, very wet interior, so perhaps no great surprise. And the other sub-assemblies I've done are these two exhaust headers. Last Sunday afternoon I spent the afternoon taking off the old falling apart, filthy, dirty rubbish wrap, giving them a tickle with my wire brush, and then literally 10 quid off of eBay's worth of heat shield or heat wrap. Even came with these little metal ties. There is a bit of a knack to getting them on tight. Lots of places on the web show you how to do it, but yeah, bit of a fiddle. You just need to know a couple of the tricks in place to get those on nice and tight. And then I've got to do the radiator. I've got to sort out the fans. This one is stiff but just about moves. This one is solid. I could spend 200 or 300 quid at a TVR specialist to buy 2 new ones, but they're literally 15 or 16 quid on eBay. So a bit of research, hopefully I'll be able to find something that fits for not much money. I think outside of that, we're largely up to date. And the final little win this week was getting this radiator header tank welded up. It had a couple of stress fractures on there. Popped it off, took it to my local motorcycle frame fabricator who does alloy motorcycle frames, believe it or not, only a few miles away from Herne Bay, which is hardly the industrial capital of the world, and he did it there and there for me for 20 quid. So really delighted, and yeah, it's coming together. And yes, there have been a few days in the last few weeks where I thought, why am I doing this project? But then on a day like today, a lovely sunny Good Friday, get the car out of the garage, begin to work on it, begin to make progress, and look at it, it's gorgeous. I think it's a really, really nice looking car, and yeah, got to knuckle down over the summer, get the last few jobs done, get it running, driving, MOT'd. As ever, if you like what I'm doing or got any questions, comment below. Other than that, do hit like or subscribe, and you'll be able to see the other updates as hopefully we make good progress over the summer.